Hello and welcome to the daily Resident Evil 2 news. Yes.
Hello.
News?
Yes.
For RE2? I
So,
thought RE3 was on the way out. But it's RE3.
No, RE2. Well, I mean,
Okay.
I kinda meant to make this podcast roughly a year ago, shortly after RE2 got released. I thought, hey, maybe we should have a podcast where we talk about our impressions of RE2, but then it didn't happen.
This is just like the special edition.
So I guess this is more like final thoughts on RE2 rather than impressions of RE2.
We could say a year in the making.
So let's start by looking at this screenshot of RE7.
Oh.
I was gonna say there's no chem fluid in RE2.
Yeah, I think this is I think this might be like the only screenshot we've ever seen of the RE engine development kit.
There is actually a few posts on this RE engine dedicated Twitter where they actually sometimes even post videos of in-engine stuff.
Oh, so, well, I guess this is less special then. Well, okay then, bye.
Bloopers.
But yeah, it's kind of like an evil tease because just imagine how much easier modding would be if we had access to stuff like this.
Oh, the possibilities.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess we're supposed to be talking about this RE2 thing.
What is she doing here?
Who are you? Ada 1. Uh-oh.
That's what happens when you do like the hunk mode as Ada, like, and this final cutscene starts, right? I think.
Yeah. I thought it just looked funny with Hunk looking back and Ada just standing there.
Okay, so I feel like I want to start this by ranting. I feel like that's a good way to start everything, by ranting.
What?
Yes. Get
Yes.
the negative energy out of the system.
Because, like, I liked RE2 more than I expected, but I also think it has some problems. So I have made some artwork to just like show off what I really mean.
Oh.
So here we go. So yeah, very impressive, very impressive. Yeah, I actually painted this myself. I did it myself. Yes, it is true. So RE games, like classic RE games, they typically have two kinds of puzzles. Like we have number one, like a full screen puzzle, like aka ward sample puzzle, best puzzle in the entire series.
I agree.
And that's pretty straightforward. Like you enter a room, there's a puzzle, and you just finish the puzzle within that one room, and that's it. And then you have the other kind of puzzle, where you enter a room and you realize, oh no, there's a thing here I can't interact with, I need another thing. So then you go to another room with a key or something similar. But along the way, you might fight monsters, like scary monsters. But then you do that, like you get the key, go back and you open the door and then you win. That's another kind of puzzle. RE2, however, is stupid. It is so stupid. Oh my god. It has like a third variant, which you basically never see in the RE series, where you go to a room and there might be like a keypad or something. We have to enter a key code, but you don't know what it is. You have to go to another room to figure out the key code, and along the way there might be zombies and stuff, like draining your supplies, of like use up all your herbs, use up all your ammo. Then you find the key code and you go back and you input it. But then these key codes never ever change. So for other playthroughs, you just write down a huge list of every single key code, and then you like, it feels like you skip a good portion of the game because you don't have to do all that backtracking, and I kind of feel like backtracking is a key part of classic RE titles, and you just skip it.
Yeah.
And RE2 keeps doing it. There are the lockers, there are the saves, there are the 3 statues in the police station, and there's like the keypad thing in the lab. I think it's stupid. I don't like it. I kind of feel like it has a similar effect as routing, because when you do replays, you might try to route and try to figure out, okay, which order should I do things? But at least that requires like thought and planning. But this just requires you to write down some notes. And I don't know. I feel like it's overdone. I think if it's done like once or twice throughout the game, then it's fine. But like RE2 just goes all in with it, and I think that's kind of a bummer.
I'll have good news for you, Sectus.
What?
I think the portable saves are randomized.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I think those are randomized, yeah.
But that's
The only thing.
Would you be more okay with this if to input this code you would need a key or like a item file, like to have your character actually know the code?
Yeah. I feel like the thing I dislike about this is that it removes the need to actually go through the level and do stuffs, and along the way you might have to fight monsters and stuff. Like you just eliminate backtracking entirely, and I kind of feel like that's kind of a key part of classic RE titles.
Agreed.
I feel like maybe as a kind of replacement for all the backtracking, they maybe made like Mr. X a thing, but well, I guess we'll talk about him later because I have more artwork.
Whoa!
Remake is still my all-time favorite classic RE title, and
Same.
And I think one thing which makes the game so good is this. Like, navigating the mansion feels like a puzzle in itself. Like, you go here and you figure out, oh no, I need the key item which is on the other side of the mansion, but then I have to think like, okay, which corridors I save? Is there a dead zombie here? Could you ever turn to a crimson head? Oh wait, there's a door here which is I can only use like 3 times total. Where should I go? Like all that planning, like that kind of planning makes playing Remake really interesting. I mean, once you've played enough, you kind of have perfectly routed the entire game and then it becomes less of a challenge. But still, like, your first times playing through the game, I think, it's a very, very cool experience. And RE2 Remake, they do try to make a more classic RE title. Like, I think going to the police station is kind of neat. I feel like it's maybe a little bit too straightforward. Like, it's easy to just like clear out pathways, like killing other zombies to make sure it's easy to and safe to like, just go back and forth and stuff. You have Mr. X, but I kind of feel like he's more of an annoyance than anything else.
Yep, talk about him later.
And then later in the game, the sewer and the lab, it just feels like one straight line. Like it suddenly becomes super linear and not very interesting. I mean, I feel like Remake has kind of the same problem, but to a lesser degree. So yeah, I just yeah. That's
in a way. I think that problem in RE2 Remake is also because unlike Remake, there's nothing like Crimson Head, like zombies coming back stronger if you kill them.
Yeah. I kind of feel like Crimson Head was one of the smartest things they did to Remake because it just made like routing and like figuring out where to go and when just much more interesting because you could just make a pathway kind of more deadly by like killing a zombie without burning it. But yeah, there's no such thing in RE2, so if you just clear a pathway, then it's safe. Well, I mean, it will become potentially more dangerous in the long run because I think the police station becomes repopulated with like lickers and stuff late in the game, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't know, I feel like just moving through the police station is so much less interesting in RE2 compared to Remake. You guys have any thoughts on my huge rant on this and this and this?
Jtegh first.
I mean, I was gonna say I pretty much agree. Like the lickers repopulating the hallways in the RPD is good because it adds extra enemies like the Crimson Head thing. The problem is it's like 2 hallways.
Yeah.
It's the hallway by the dark room and the other one because the game knows you need to go there for a key, but all the other hallways get nothing.
Yeah.
I pretty much agree with Jtegh.
It's like, yeah, we know exactly where you need to go, so we'll just put like 4 enemies in there and that's it. Put it everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like it's also a little bit scripted. Like it's like this is one of the hallways which gets like a ton of lickers, and there's like a room here you have to enter for a key item. I get the impression like every single time you do this, like every single time you get that key item, Mr. X shows up like every single time.
Yeah, he's. I think he's scripted to show when you get the handle for the bookshelf at least.
Yeah. You're gonna say something, Pvimto?
Well, I really enjoy the way the remake of 1 is done because of the like whole design of the map. I like the Crimson Heads. They are a cool addition. They make it harder to walk through the whole mansion. However, I didn't really play the remake that much, so my favorite is RE2, even though it's kind of just the same stuff over and over when you go through this hallway, and then the zombies jump out the window, and then you're like, "Oh, zombies in the window! I can just walk past them." And that's all my essay is. However, the lab and the sewers is very linear, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it doesn't help either that the game encourages you to do replays with B scenario and the other character, but it isn't that different. Especially the lab is always 100% the same, right?
Oh, the B
Yeah.
scenario was so disappointing in the remake.
The only thing different about the lab between the two characters is that for Leon, Mr. X is in like one room.
And
Yeah, he does awkwardly show up.
and I also I think the only difference with the sewer is that you get a different gun as like Claire and Leon. Otherwise, the sewer is the same too.
Yeah, and the puzzle,
God,
the chess puzzle is
sewers.
different, and that's about it.
Oh god, sewers.
And then the police station is at least a little bit different, but not like super different.
Yeah, you get to
Yeah.
start in the courtyard. I know there's more to that.
Okay, maybe I'll go back to showing random screenshots like this.
Hey, da!
So, since I've ranted a bunch, maybe I'll talk more about the positive things about RT, the stuff I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wesker.
Yes. Wesker being the truck driver, I thought was amazing. Best part of R2.
Stars into Marvin.
I'm gonna
Don't
make
tell
this
anyone that I'm
cycle
here.
through a bit slower if I can remember how to do it. Change this like 30 seconds. There we go. Okay. So I think like graphically, RE Engine is a beast. Like the game looks amazing and it performs amazingly well as well. Like the game is targeting like 6 FPS even on a base Xbox One and PS4, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And it gets pretty close actually to it as well.
Yeah, I played the game on base PS4 since early 2019. I didn't have a computer that could quite run it well, and it was perfectly fine.
That's not how you sit on a chair.
It's good ragdoll physics though.
10 out of 10.
I also think another thing which stands out is that the animations just, I don't know, just that simple act of like just walking and running around in the game just feels good. Like the animation is just so smooth and well done and so varied as well.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah, presentation wise, this game has absolutely, like, the RE Engine delivers. It's incredible.
yeah.
Like, it's something I really appreciate. The Capcom, even if it's a horror game, they still go, "Hey, let's just target 60 FPS. We can do that. Why should we settle for less?"
Yeah.
And I just really appreciate that.
Yeah, the R engine is it is just a piece. Like it's also seen with like Devil May Cry 5 that also looks and runs super well.
Knock knock.
I also think they made just the shooting just feel good, like it feels very satisfying just to use the guns.
That is the one big issue I had with RE7. I just did not think the gunplay felt good in that game at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, RE2 addresses that, and then some. Like shotgun, for example. It feels good to use the shotgun, and that's really nice.
I feel like it's just a combination of everything. Like they sound good, like this. There's a good animation for it, like this satisfying recoil when you fire, and just a combination of everything just makes the gunplay feel satisfying.
Plus the way zombies can react to it. Like it feels like you actually hit them.
Yeah, it's something I really liked about the remake that they went through like the extra effort of having the zombies like take like the battle damage from the different weapons you like hit them with. I think that was like a really nice touch to make it show like no, these things like they take a hit, but physically you do like completely destroy them.
Unless you play the Japanese version, then they just
10 black.
Yeah.
They become the mold.
Oh god.
I know.
Oh god, is that you?
This
I don't
is
think that's
Brad. No, who is this?
you. I think it is
So yeah,
Brad.
this
Hi, Brad.
I thought it was kind of silly that they didn't include like the Easter egg so I kind of put it back.
Genius. Still a genius move.
Look at the rain.
Oh, look, there's
Ugh.
hell. Oh,
God, look at that. Those alphas.
Oh,
It wouldn't be a podcast without alpha discussions.
Ooh,
Oh,
that one picture.
chill. Chill.
I think
Darbs.
I think like the structure, like the execution of the game is a little bit interesting because it feels like it's somewhere between like classic RE titles and action RE titles. I almost feel like it, like if I'm gonna compare it to any other RE game, I think I would compare it the most to Revelations 1 or 2. Because it does try to be classic RE title in some ways, but also like I feel like it's very action focused. Like the gunplay is a lot more in depth than the classic RE titles. You have to make sure like
Yeah.
you move correctly to avoid enemy attacks. You have to like hit them in the head or other places to like kill them. So kind of interesting like execution of an RE title.
Yeah, I feel like Revelations in a way kind of set the blueprint for how they want to do like classic RE nowadays. Because it just seems like they kind of follow that formula now.
I'll be curious if this is what they're gonna do with future RE titles because I feel like kind of hard to compare. I feel like this got reviewed better than RE7. I should probably look that up to confirm it, but at least with I think at least fans like they were a lot happy with this than they were with RE7. Kind of curious what
I'm
future
happy
RE
with
titles
it.
will be like.
I'm looking it up really quickly. RE7 got 86% on Metacritic, and RE2 got 91. So yeah,
Okay, yeah. So yeah,
RE2 did better.
so both press and fans liked RE2 a lot better than RE7. RE7 sold super well though.
Yeah, but RE7 does have like 3 years to.
Rebecca.
That's not Chris's sister.
You're really Chris's sister, Rebecca?
Plot twist.
Can we talk about Marvin yet, or should we wait till a later point?
You can talk about Marvin if you want to talk about Marvin.
I really like how they handled him in this game. I
Mm.
really like the expanded role that he got. I think that was a really smart move in their end to kind of have him more involved with Leon and Claire as well. Having Leon basically get the dynamic of like a rookie talking to his lieutenant and all of that, and Marvin putting the rookie first before himself. Like I just overall liked Marvin a lot.
Instead of shooting him or attempting to.
It was just a
Well,
shame that in the original he was just a whole "oh, you missed your party," little, and that was it. That was his contribution.
Yeah, I haven't played RE2 like the original in a long time, but I think I remember Marvin's role was pretty small in that.
It was one scene, I believe, and then you could encounter him as a zombie.
Oh,
Boo.
it was a dark, stormy night. I lost Ada that day. I lost everything in Raccoon City. All I have left is my Chicago typewriter.
What about the other characters, like the story and characters overall?
like Kendo.
No, Ken is another character they changed quite a bit.
Ooh, sorry about that bit.
I kind of miss old Kendo because of like just how goofy he is.
Who are you? What are you doing?
What are you doing here? Sorry about that. Hold on. I kind of miss that, but I also kind of like what they did, mostly because it gave him a bit more, and also it kind of leads into one of probably my favorite Leon scene in the game, because Leon kind of gets to have a moment where
Daniel.
he kind of tells Ada like, "Hey, this is why I became a cop," and stuff like that. I'm just doing a very bad job at it, but don't judge me, okay?
I feel like maybe with the exception of Kendo and Marvin, the characters and the roles are pretty much the same as the original game.
I hate how they handled Irons.
Yeah, Iron is quite a bit different.
I was super disappointed in how he turned out. Like I know that he's not anything absolutely freaking amazing in the original, but I still liked that in the original they tried to have him be like this mayor of the city who who's still trying to act like he has a bit of a decent human being inside of him when he doesn't, but he still tries to put on the
Oh.
mask.
Oh, no.
The one time the game actually scared me, by the way, right here. This zombie didn't make any noise, and I was just walking forward trying to take a nice screenshot of this crossbow, and this guy jumps out and scared the shit out of me.
Survival horror.
Is this a good horror title? Is this game scary?
At times.
I'd
It's
say it has its
tense
moments,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's the scariest RE title. Long shot, for example. I still think like RE1's remake is far scarier.
What about the voice actings? Stuffs.
I didn't really understand not Jill, Claire's voice acting in the beginning. Like
I
the
don't
first
know
trailer
anything
that
you
we
want to say, everyone.
so the first look, it's Jill.
Ooh.
The first trailer with Claire, she just didn't sound correct. But then once the game released, I kind of warmed to her voice, and it was fine then. And I think everyone else sounded okay.
I think one thing that's always important to keep in mind for trailers, and this is something that I'm also guilty of doing, however, is that for trailers, they often take lines out of context.
Yeah.
And you also have them like mixed in a really weird way because they want to make sure they're super audible. Catherine?
Yep.
Catherine Croft.
Yep.
Yes.
Look at the detail. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
the detail.
I think also for some of the first trailers, they also used older recordings of certain lines because some of the delivery in the final game was completely different.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you
this-
look at the very first like reveal trailer, the cop in the gas station has Leon's voice actor.
Really?
Oh,
And it like reuses lines that Leon has in the game.
that's
Oh.
funny.
That's kind of hilarious.
Which is funny because the exact same day another trailer was released on the Capcom blog, and that did actually have a different voice actor for that cop.
Oh,
Hey, Claire.
Facial animation.
look at those teeth.
Is that a Zelda outfit?
Yes.
Yes.
I think the voice acting is fine overall. I think it's more the writing I wish was different.
I'm gonna
like
leave before I
it's-
start ranting too much. Bye.
I feel like it's the same thing with R7. Like they made it very westernized. Like I feel like it doesn't have any of that typical RA charm. It also goes way overboard with swearing, which is it just feels
so
out of
dry.
place.
It's so dry. The writing is so dry sometimes. Claire's writing is painful at times. Like Claire just going, "I'll get you, you fucker."
Ugh. It just I don't know.
Can I say that here? Is that too late now?
I think YouTube allows that nowadays. I think
Whoops.
as long as I don't flag this video as made for children.
But yeah, like Claire is probably where I have the biggest problems writing wise. Oh, hello, Ada. Wow.
What does that say?
I imagine that's like her signature.
It's weird.
Yeah,
Agent Wong.
but I think the writing is like sometimes it's pretty good. I think Leon has the majority of like the good writing in his campaign because I feel like he's acting like he acts like himself. Like obviously a little more green around the ears, but then he has like a line when you the Clock Tower puzzle. He has the line of like, "Hope I don't have to write a report on this," and I'm like, "Oh, that's Leon. That's like, hey."
I
Harry
wish he
Potter
was less
say that.
stupid. Like I had this problem with Leon in the original as well. He's just so stupid. He's kind of stupid. Like he doesn't realize anything about Ada whatsoever. And like
Blinded by love.
this guy, like there's a zombie outbreak going, and he's like, "Well, no, we should let you stay in jail. I'll have a talk with Irons." Like he talks as if the zombie outbreak is not happening when he like talks to Ben. I don't know. I don't know. He seems kind of stupid. I'm sorry.
He is pretty dumb. I mean, then he backs up towards a wall, and then kabam! Mr. X goes, "Hello."
But yeah, I don't know. Like I kind of didn't like the story of the original RE2 anyway. So the fact that the story is mostly the same in RE2 remake, I mean, I'm still not a huge fan of this story.
Other voice acting, like I think Kendo's fine. I mean, he's not a goofball, but that's fine. Ada is fine. Irons is hilarious, but that's because of the whole "there's all over now." Doors locked. That's a pretty
The
good
way
line.
that line is voiced is so over the top. The way how he
Yes.
says "locked."
It's
Doors
endearing.
locked.
It's endearing.
It's kind of funny.
Sherry's actor does a fine job. I mean, for what she has to do with that character, and Marvin, I think again, but I think it helps that this is the most expanded Marvin has ever been as a character. Like, this is the actor who actually gets to do a lot with Marvin.
Ugh.
Hunk is fine, but that's the Umbrella Chronicles actor, so that's someone who knows how to perform him. Same with William Birkin. Annette was great. I really liked Annette. That was actually one actor I really liked.
Oh yeah, William Birkin. That's a returning actor for him, right?
Yep, TJ Rotolo, Frank West.
The only returning actors, unless I'm mistaken, is for him and Hunk, right?
Yep. Oh, and Tufo. They got the Capcom employee
Oh,
back
yeah.
to the original.
But
Oh, right,
that's
they
wait,
got-
this scene right here is Matt Mercer.
That's
Hmm.
Matt Mercer. This scene
Yeah.
has Matt Mercer's RE6 fronts for like 2 seconds.
That's
so weird.
kind of random.
I don't remember Ada being part of it, though. Does he land on Ada?
Hmm?
Does he land on top of Ada like when they fall down? It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, Lee,
No,
that's cool.
no. He lands like further back.
Okay.
It's not
Ada's
that
just
weird.
perfectly standing up, and then he's like, "Oh!"
There you go. Like she,
Oh, yeah.
like he falls down and she's right there.
Catch me, Ada. Okay. Oh!
It's kind of weird that like for some side characters they ensure they get returning voice actors, but for the main cast that's just completely changed them. I find that a little bit weird.
That situation was just weird as a whole because Matt Mercer did say that he was contacted by Capcom and everything, and he said, "Hey, yeah, absolutely, that he will do that," but it just fell through, and he never heard anything more.
That is weird.
Just got the call that, "Hey, we're doing RE2 remake. You can be Leon again," and he said yes, and then he never got a, "Hey, you should be in the studio this day."
Which seems to be on the localization, like the recording studio, because all the Japanese actors returned.
Yep.
Hmm.
It saddens me because I really liked Leon.
Yeah, that was a very good Leon.
I think he found the perfect balance of like being
Tough guy.
serious but still being goofy when he had to deliver the lines. I just shot the president.
At least the wipers work.
There's no one at the controls. Zombie Express.
What's wrong? Not a fan of sewers.
Does it look like I need a pruning?
Oh, I love that Leon.
I'm just an everyday American who was dumped on a plane, cheated out of his vacation, and brought to this place without any breakfast. It's great.
Does anyone here like the sewers part of the game? Does anyone?
No.
Nope.
Jtegh?
No, sewers are awful.
Yeah.
I feel like after my first playthrough, every playthrough after that, I just like every time I reached the sewers and lab, I just almost felt like quitting because those sections they just feel tedious to me.
Yeah.
They are so boring.
I'm more okay with the lab than the sewers, but that's just because the sewers is just bad.
Yeah, the lab at least is visually interesting.
Yeah, I think the lab looks super cool. I just wish it was more interesting to actually do stuff in.
Agreed.
That's a
Wow.
Look at that
picture of
axe.
Irons.
To axe or not to axe? That's the question.
What do you guys think of the puzzles in the game? There's actually quite a lot of them when I think about it. There's like the I forget what they're called. You mentioned them earlier, like those tiny
Portable save?
Yeah, portable saves. It's like it's a Simon Says puzzle with those. No. It's not really summon sets. You just like guess the order of the buttons you have to
Yeah.
press.
I think those are actually my favorite puzzles, purely because they can be randomized and also I just like the noises. And I think Jtegh is disgusted that I love them that much.
I'm so bad at those puzzles.
I just like the noises whenever you win them. It's like
I mean, the tune is like very happy, and that part I do like. Like the sound of those is really good, and it is one of the few elements in the game that is randomized, which is nice. But I'm just so bad at those puzzles.
they
I
are
kind of like those puzzles. I don't like this puzzle right here. I think it's this thing.
Next
Uh,
picture. Go on. Nope.
Like it's the puzzle you do as Sherry. I don't like that one.
Oh, and it has like an achievement of like, hey, do this like.
Yeah, I never
60
even tried to
seconds.
do that.
I got it at one point, but it's fun fact that puzzle isn't randomized.
It isn't?
Oh, really? Huh.
No, there's one set solution.
Huh. Well, I guess that makes the achievement easy if you just memorize the solution.
As a
Oh.
whole, like just that Sherry section, I don't like.
Oh yeah,
It slows down the game too much.
Ooh, tofu.
very scripted.
Yamade.
I would also I would say it's also disappointing with playing as Ada.
Yeah,
Like it's a little bit gimmicky and you don't get to do much as her. I feel like.
Yeah.
she does have the best line in the whole game, though. Secret weapon time.
I feel like they could have done more with Ada because it just feels like you run through holes and then you're done.
She doesn't really accomplish much other than she kind of just gets hurt.
Yeah.
I like the power circuit puzzle, which you do twice in a playthrough.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
I don't
Like
I
a
don't think
pipe
those are
dream thing?
randomized, but they're fun.
I think and there's like 4 variants, and it's like a pipe dream thing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not randomized.
Yeah, I think those are pretty fun to do. And then
There's the pluck ones in the
Rain
sewer.
reset?
Is it raining indoors?
yeah, I can't
Some
remember how
really
this
good.
happened, but it happened once to me. I was modding and doing weird things, and this happened.
They should really look into fixing that roof. Leaking.
I think I was experimenting with finding a way to teleport the player, but then I just accidentally made it rain everywhere instead somehow. I should have noted down how I did it because that's a fun side effect.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Why am I stuck with this child?
But yeah, you mentioned the chess puzzle in the sewer. Is that it?
Yeah, the pluck puzzle.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, and then also in the series they have that. The only puzzle which is actually very similar to one of the ones from original RE2, where this is like this power thingy, like there's 5 switches. No, I think there's 4 switches toggle to get the correct power, and that's the only puzzle which is almost identical to one from original RE2. That one's
They
okay.
actually wrote that on the computer screen.
Hmm?
They actually wrote the file information on the computer screen. That's impressive. Barbecue pics.
Bullshit, more bullshit. Oh, is this
do.
Daniel?
Jill Johnson. New mail. Reply all, forward. Thomas Taylor.
But yeah, and then I think the one puzzle we haven't mentioned yet is the one you do where the plant zombies are, like the liquid puzzle thing. I don't know what to call it. That one can be slightly pain. At least for I do it.
The
it's pretty
herbicide thing.
painful.
Yeah.
Should we also just talk about those Ivy zombies now that we're on the subject of them? Because they're a pretty big difference from the original where they're full on plants.
Yeah.
Oh hey, it's the best alternate costume in the game.
I think
I don't like the Ivies much because if you don't have a defense item, they're a 1-hit kill if they grab
Oh
you.
yeah. That's a bit
you're
mean.
basically dead. I just think they're, and this is probably like completely my nostalgia speaking. I just miss the plants when they're just full on plants. I think making them zombies just make them less interesting visually.
It's been so long since I played the original. Did they have like a gimmick, like a mechanical gimmick in the original?
I think if
They
they
could
grabbed
spit.
you, they could spit at you, and if they grabbed you, they would just bite your head.
Because in remake, they behave in a pretty weird way gameplay wise. Like as I said, like they have one hit kill grab. They have this 5 or 6 weak spots. I think if you shoot those, then they always die immediately. And you can also kill them by just using a ton of fire weapon.
Yeah, Leon
Nice
benefits the most from that. I agree. I like the hat.
Mhm.
I hope Jill gets a noir outfit in RE3.
Well, people could just port this one, I guess.
I'd be okay with that.
Game looks really good. Like the RE engine is insane.
It is incredible. It is incredible.
I'm also happy that aside from one thing, I feel like RE engine is a lot easier to mod than Empty Framework. It is like I do not miss the ARC files. that was that was fiddly, especially with games like Dragon's Dogma, where one individual asset could be in like 10 different ARC files. So if you wanted to ensure that was modded, you had to modify every duplicate version of that file.
Oh god.
But in RE Engine, each file only exists once. Well, I guess you can kind of say that the textures there have like a low-res version and like a high-res streamed version.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, this is concept art you get in the game.
Wow, Annette is angry. Holy bananas, Annette.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that Ada almost had an RE6 like outfit.
Yeah, I feel like there must have been like considering all of her outfits throughout the series when designing her in this game.
Yeah.
Oh my
I kind of
god,
like
Tofu.
this one.
This one?
This one, yes.
Oh my
kinda
god,
like that
Tofu,
one.
that's glorious.
Oh, that's
face.
smiley.
Ugh.
I like this sort of cherries.
Yeah, those are all good. I actually think they should have gone with this shear right here.
I still think Ada's like spy outfit is so silly in this, like gigantic coat, big sunglasses, big scarf. Like she's not being very subtle about all of that.
Yeah, subtlety went out the window. Like if she'd just been in the dress from the get-go, that actually helped a lot.
But I was going to say that modding wise, the only huge downside with modding RE Engine games is that you don't have an easy way of finding file names. Like you have to dump them from the game using a specific tool, because there is no way. Like the file names aren't saved in the archive files, which is very unusual, and that is an annoyance. But thankfully, someone made that one tool to let you dump file names, so that was kind of solved.
Huzzah.
Hopefully RE3 is as moddable as RE2.
Oh, look
I
at the
hope so.
lag.
Yeah, this was a test I did. I found the file which defines defines the censoring. So with this, I changed it from Japanese to international version. So and then this happens because it's still using the assets from the Japanese version. So like you don't see the limbs when it's supposed to go off.
Man, it's just a very powerful shotgun that completely vaporized.
I guess that's maybe worth mentioning. Like, I feel like this might be surely it's the most violent RE title so far. Well, I guess RE7 was also super violent.
I feel like 7 is probably still, but that's because like RE7 has a lot of those moments of like, hey, I'm gonna be all up in your face and like
Eat your
like,
teeth.
and like shove this knife into your teeth and stuff like that, and then I will cut my son's arm off in front of you, and he's all like, God damn it,
That's
old
just
man, not
weird.
again!
It's weird.
And then my wife will be all like,
But definitely the most violent third-person RE game.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It
and
actu-
but if you play the Japanese version, then it's kind of as violent as like the old RE titles, because it's super censored. Like this guy, he has his legs in the Japanese version.
I want that version.
Quite the opposite in the international release.
Well, if you want the version, I made a mod using the Japanese assets.
Oh,
Wow!
Mhm. It can be downloaded if you get my mod manager, because you can now download mods via the mod manager. Wow!
ooh.
But yeah, I think it actually tumbled RE4 off the throne of being the most violent game. Although I think RE4 is mainly due to the death animations.
Yeah, I was actually I kind of expected this game to do the same of having super duper brutal death sequences with Leon and Claire, but they don't actually do it ever.
They're incredibly tame.
Is this Super Mr. X?
Yeah, this is another thing which is censored in the Japanese release. I think in the international release, like, he kind of has no body hair.
Yeah.
He has like a tiny bit of his spine, and then a bunch of goop like falls out.
Lovely.
And also RE7 was also super censored in the Japanese release, sometimes in very silly ways. Like there's one scene where you're supposed to find someone's head in a fridge, but in the Japanese version you instead find just like a
The item.
you find like this photograph of the guy, just an ordinary photograph. It just, I don't know, it's kind of silly.
Yeah, and in the scene where Mia like cuts Ethan's hand off, and she only breaks it. Like she only breaks the hand with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
It's a bit
That's pretty
strange.
hilarious.
What did everyone think of Mr. X in this game? How they implemented him? How did he work in the original anyway? I don't think I remember that. I
In
feel
the
like
original, he would only show up at certain areas in certain parts of the game. He wouldn't chase you around the whole PD. For example.
okay, yeah.
And
Because
wasn't
that-
it only in B scenarios?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
think so.
BL.
Okay, so his role in the original is super small.
Get him away from me! Get him away!
Yeah.
Get him away from me!
It's kind of funny, this whole thing. So the model for Chris was in the game at launch, but then they patched the model out, and it was always unused. It was kind of funny. I think this was a reference to Ethan's model in the game, but that never existed in the game files.
No, I
This at
thought
launch.
Yeah, I
think
searched
anyway.
for those models, but I could never find Ethan. But eventually, like when I was the one to find Chris. But yeah, they patched him out in like the first update, I believe.
Yeah. They also had some other weird unused assets they later patched out, like two early versions of cutscenes.
I don't remember this character.
Ending trucker.
He's my favorite character.
But regarding Mr. X, I think they implemented him well, because without him, you would probably just feel no danger.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely makes it more challenging, but he's, I don't know, like, it just feels more annoying. Like, I feel like there's so many times where, okay, here's Mr. X, I'll run to a save room, I guess I'll just wait 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a dog driving a car, never mind, that's all normal.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you?
Right here.
I was
Driving
kind
the
of
road.
sad about this, but I was really hoping the dog would try to use the guy's animations, but no, the dog is just static, it doesn't animate at all.
Yeah, my thoughts on Mr. X are basically that I liked him on my first playthrough. I think he added a good element there, but on subsequent playthroughs, I just got tired of him.
I really hope with 3 they make Nemesis more similar to original R3. I would be so happy if you can fight Nemesis and he stays down for a long time. I would be so happy if that's possible.
That is my biggest worry with RE3 so far. I really hope it is like that, because that would make it tolerable.
Because in RE2 Remake, you can shoot Mr. X. The only benefit to that is that he will get stunned for like 10 seconds. Like, it is a waste of ammo.
Actually, it's 30 seconds. Oh my god.
Yeah,
He's a real RE fan.
I feel like Mr. X, like the way it works is it's kind of cool in it's kind of cool in theory, like having this constant threat stalking you, but it's just annoying.
Yeah. Claire is kind of how I felt when I knew he was coming up at every playthrough.
Like, he's on his way.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's gonna give it to you.
I actually like that mod.
That necklace.
Failures.
She's so dirty.
Well,
The
Yeah, she gets-
dynamic dirt in this game was pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I ever looked into how that works. Is there like 1 billion different textures for her?
I think there's like 4.
There's for the tank top, I believe there's 2 or 3 variations, and the same for the jacket, and it's just progressively dirtier versions of the texture,
Okay.
and they get triggered at certain specific points, like crawling through the vent for the Marvin cutscene after G1 and a few other spots.
That's kind of how RE6 did it too, wasn't it?
I think so.
Oh, Lady Hunk.
What do you guys think of the bonus modes in this game? Like the hunk thing and the Ghost Survivor stuffs?
Not a fan, personally. It's not for me.
I
Um,
kind of like it.
ugh, Lady. Ugh.
Lady, ugh.
Wrong
Uh,
game, lady.
I wanna like them, but at the same time, I would have rather had like a separate ways.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But I think they are quite good. I enjoy them because it's free also, and
Yeah.
it's just more content to play. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
this it's definitely nice to have them. I kind of wish they were more open ended. Like I don't like that. I feel like it's all about just figuring out like the one way to handle each room, and once you've routed that, then it's kind of solved. I feel like I wish it was more open ended. You could like explore more and do stuff. So I don't know.
yeah,
It's very straightforward. I do find it kind of funny that No Way Out kind of plays like a really basic prototype mercenaries mode.
yeah.
This makes me sad.
It makes me sad too. I really want mercenaries to be back. Oh my god! Imagine, just imagine.
I can imagine the image in front of me.
Just imagine.
Just
What is this?
that's me driving a car.
Oh,
Just
now
biting
I
the wheel.
see it.
This is what happens in the real world every day.
Just imagine imagine a standalone mercenaries title with fan favorite RE characters in RE Engine. That
That would be really good.
would be really
I
neat.
would buy it day 3. You're not holding that. You're balancing the gun on your.
It's fine. It's fine. It's don't worry about it. It's fine. It's
Only
fine.
3 students at a time in this door, please.
But yeah, they should make that and make like they could base the gameplay on RE6, but make it like an evolved version of RE6's like melees and
please.
stuff. Like I would be super into that. I want to roll and
RE6
slide and evade and everything for that again.
RE6's gameplay is super underrated. But I did appreciate that Tofu was back. That was fun to see.
Oh yeah, they added tofu variants.
That was amazing. Best part of it.
I don't
Were
like
the tofu
the tofu
variants not
stuff.
in the original?
Hmm?
Were the tofu variants not on the original?
No. The original
no.
game had hunk and 1 tofu as bonus stuff.
But now there's 4.
I don't think I ever
Right.
did hunks thing in original RE2 ever.
He's like, when you start that, he's just laying face down on the sewer. It's pretty hilarious. And that's the first frame you see.
But yeah, it makes me like hope like RE2 remakes makes me hopeful about RE3 because I think I would have really loved RE2 if they just approached certain things differently. Like if they had made backtracking more interesting, if they had made Mr. X function differently, if they had made the combat a little bit more fun. But we know that potentially they could be doing those stuffs with RE3. Like hopefully Nemesis will work like Nemesis in original RE3. Hopefully, like the combat becomes more interesting with the dodge move and stuff like that.
I really hope so. So far, I am more hopeful for 3 though. Like
Yeah.
I just think it'll be better than 2. There's a part of me that really thinks it'll be better than 2.
I think I'll be surprised if I don't like RE3 a lot better. The thing is, like, even going back to the originals, I think original RE3 is a billion times better than original RE2.
I agree.
I think one really cool thing about RE3 is that it randomizes a lot of stuff to make each playthrough feel different.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think,
like the randomizing. Oh, sorry.
I actually say I think that system is 1,000 times better than the A and B scenarios in RE2.
This is getting awfully terrifying to look at, Sectus.
This is amazing.
But yeah, I really like the randomizing elements of RE3, and I also like the quality of life improvements. Like the quick turn, you can walk up and down the stairs without pressing a button. You can craft gunpowder, well, ammo, and then you have like, even though it's very picky, you have the dodge mechanic. Like small things like that, I really liked.
Yeah.
I hope in RE3 the dodge mechanic is not that picky and we can just press it like a button in RE Rev 2.
Yeah, I hope it's like that. It does have that animation at least.
Yeah, it's kind of funny they actually took animation Rev 2 for that. I never thought they'd do that.
You're not Leon, but here you go.
Okay, I guess. I don't know what this is, but I'll take it.
It's a knife.
What's a knife?
That was perfect.
Where I come from, I slice bread with a sword.
While going, hurrah!
I want this model in RE3 as well.
Over
That should be
Carlos?
doable.
Hopefully, if the modding is the same, we could do that easily.
Over Carlos or over Jill?
Both.
Oh yeah, Brad.
Bread.
He looks like live action RE1 Chris, and that I can never unsee that. And
Is
it
that the same face
bothers
model
me.
in RE3, like in the
Yeah,
remake?
it must be. He looks super similar.
Monday, October 27, 1997. Info session at 8 a.m. Written exam at 10 a.m.
I think I mentioned this in one of the previous podcasts, but I think the reason we don't get to encounter Brad in RE2 remake is it's because they knew they changed his role super much in RE3 remake.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think this is from the demo, right? Like the demo has these notes look different.
Yep.
I also really hope RE3 has good bonus mode. I mean, it's kind of worrying that according to one interview, there's no mercenaries.
Yeah.
Has
Has
that been confirmed to be correct? Because there was.
I think it was confirmed in the PlayStation Magazine interview.
There was one interview which got some information wrong. Was that the same interview? Because there was one interview which claimed that they made like a real life nemesis and then scanned him in, which is apparently bullshit.
I think that was the same interview, yeah. Oh, hey, Nathan Leon.
Okay, so hopefully maybe that's another mistake in the interview and mercenaries is a thing.
That would be great.
Because yeah, I want good. I want good bonus modes. I just want mercenaries. I just really want mercenaries.
Just make a spin-off game again, Capcom. Just make a Mercenaries game. We'll buy it. We'll buy it on every platform.
I'll buy 1,000 copies. Not even
I would buy the other 1,000, so you at least have. See, you already have 2K sold. Profitable.
Yeah, please, come on. Be a pal.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, pal.
Any other topics you haven't covered with RE2? Shall we rank the game compared to other RE games?
No, we can do that, sure.
Would rank it compared to every game in the series, or only like the classic one?
Let's give it top 5.
Top 5 RE games in general?
Yeah, and then we have to include RE2 somewhere in there.
What if RE2 isn't in top 5?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be top 5 for me.
I don't think it'll be for me either. My top 5 is kind of weird.
Shall we do top 5s then?
Okay, sure. I'll just try to write it down. And top 5 would be difficult. I don't know.
I wouldn't even know which ones I would rank in that way.
I'm trying to think which RE games I like the most overall. I think I might know my top 6. I think I know my top 7. I just don't know the order of them.
Oh wow, it's Jill.
Yeah, I don't know if I can order mine. Like, I think I can if I'm allowed to cheat on number 1. But only if I can cheat at number 1. Because I am kind of cheaty on how I handle number 1.
Is it Umbrella Corp?
Oh god. No. No.
Because I think that's cheating. It's not really a Resident Evil game.
It's also just not a very good game.
Okay, shall I just mention what I think my top 7 is?
Yes.
Okay, so this order will probably change based on what mood I'm in. But number 1 would be RE6 for me. Because its main mode, Mercenaries, is amazing, and then you have this silly bonus mode where Leon drives a car.
Those the Vipers work.
I think that's my favorite. And then RE5 is my second, because Mercenaries mode is really good there, and then you get a bonus mode where you, like, Chris has a chat with Wesker, which is pretty good. After that, number 3 would be Remake. Remake, I kind of feel like it's miles ahead every single other classic RE title. It is really well made. I really like Remake. And then number 4, I would say Mercenaries 3D. It's a good Mercenaries. It just makes me sad that it's only for handheld, only for 3DS. Makes me kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 5 would be RE4. I'm kind of sick tired of replaying the game, but the campaign used to be fun for me to replay, and the Mercenaries mode is pretty fun, even though it has no co-op, even though the melee system isn't too advanced, but it's a good game. And
So,
then
bingo.
I think number 6 would be RE3 for me. Like I had fun replaying RE3 recently, and I think that made me realize it would probably be my second favorite classic RE title out of all of those. And then number 7 would probably be RE0. I think like Remake, RE3, and RE0 are my 3 favorite like classic style RE games. And
it's a good list.
And I have no idea how to order the rest of them. I guess RE2 probably wouldn't be too, like RE2 Remake probably wouldn't be too far down compared to those titles that I just listed. Maybe even 8th, I don't know. Yeah, that's my list.
That's a good list.
Pvimto?
So it goes RE5, RE6, RE2, RE1, RE0, RE4.
Jtegh?
My favorite RE game?
Yes.
Pvimto.
Definitely Remake first. I guess like RE6 because its gameplay is just so good.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so smooth.
Oh, the combat is so fun.
We should play RE6 after this, all of us.
It's such fun combat.
I think RE2 Remake might actually be like after that.
Wow.
And then probably 4 because I replayed that so much and I really used to like it, but I have the same problem as Sectus where I played it so much that I can't play it too much anymore.
It is a good game. I like it. I've simply played it too much.
I think after that would either be RE3 or Mercenaries 3D. And then after that would be RE5 and RE2.
Oh, RE5 is so far down.
Mm-hmm.
I initially didn't like the story of 5 that much, to be honest. And I didn't have a console, so I didn't have Gold Edition.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
So if you don't have like the Gold Edition, because Lost in Nightmares is probably one of the best parts of that game.
Yeah, I feel like I think Lost in Nightmares and also Desperate Escape, it shows that hey, they learned how to make good RE5 gameplay after finishing the main game. Like they learned how to make the game better.
And then after RE5 and RE2 is whatever comes after it, except for 7 and Code Veronica, because I hate those 2 games.
Ooh, maybe we should make a list of the games we like the least in the RE franchise.
Oh boy. I wouldn't dare to be part of that.
Icewave list.
Can I cheat on number 1 or is that illegal?
How
That's okay.
cheating?
You can cheat.
Because my number 1 is cheating in the way that it's a shared place of Remake and RE5. For different needs, like Remake because it perfects classic RE for me, and RE5 perfects modern action RE. So I like them for like that different reason. Hey Nero, you're in the wrong game. Look at my red queen!
Kind of pathetic.
Watch me rev it up! And number 2 would probably be RE6 due to the gameplay and mercenaries.
Wouldn't that be number 3 if 1 is basically a tie?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I guess. So number 3 would be RE6. Number 4 would probably be RE3 because I like the randomizing elements. Obviously being a Jill fanatic helps a little bit, but I also just think the randomized elements, the pacing, the quality of life improvements are really nice. And number 5 would be Revelations 1 because of Jill's both sections. I think that part is super good, and luckily it is the main focus.
Oh yeah, I think going back to my list, Revelations 1 that would probably be the 8th game, and then maybe after that would I have like RE2 remake, because Revelations 1 Revelations 1 is very close to being a great RE title. It's just that it has those segments which are just so boring to do.
Yeah, like Chris's parts are okay, but then you had Keith and Quinn and Parker and Tergretia, and it's just like,
Yeah. But Jill on the ship was pretty fun to do.
yeah, that stuff was great.
Oh boy, we have to talk about this. They ruined Rebecca in RE2 remake. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The main character of RE2, they just ruined. Just.
I love the fact that they just took the RE0 render of it and just like photoshops to change the Lex position.
Yeah, so this is original, like a promotional render made for RE0 HD, like what you see here, but it looks like they didn't handle the alpha correctly. You can see remnants of like the white background here and there, like also on her hair, like remnants of like white alpha stuffs. I mean, like the white background, and then this pose doesn't work. Like her torso is too long. Like the top half of this is from a promotional render, and then the bottom half they just made.
Are her legs just ripping through the shorts? That doesn't look
Yeah,
right.
that's another thing. Like this doesn't work. This doesn't make any sense. Like you aren't supposed to see the the shorts here, and also like her torso like would be enormously long if you look at everything.
Her butt is here, but at the same time, her butt is there.
Yeah. And then also I
Jesus
kind of
Christ.
feel like shoes aren't supposed to be 100% completely green. Like
They
that's also
look
kind of
really
weird.
drawn in. They look like they got someone to draw in like 2 minutes.
Like
And they were like, the fill-in tool in Photoshop.
I am disappointed. Rebecca deserves to be treated better like this. I made this variant. Wow, so much better. Wow.
Basketball.
Where's the basketball?
It's the here.
Well, it's outside the frame.
You can download this mod if you download my mod manager, which lets you download mods directly, like this mod.
Yay!
It's a good mod.
Oh, I included this picture for the heck of it.
RE6.
Good timing.
This is something they showed during a conference thing some months ago. They basically the evolution of all of their engines. So it's kind of, I feel like the funniest thing here is that they actually reference Panther Ray, which they've been quiet about for so many years, and they look at RE Engine as like something which spun off Panther Ray.
I don't know why, but it makes me so happy that they're not afraid to show RE6 in that show. That
But
makes
where's
me
RE5?
happy. Well, I mean, I would have preferred that because I prefer 5, but I still like 6 a lot, so I'm happy.
I think it's most baffling. It's kind of hard to see, but this is Shadow of Rome. Who remembers Shadows of Rome?
Never heard of it.
That is a very, very niche Capcom title. I think it flopped super hard. Like it was kind of fun to play, but yeah, it was a weird game. I think it was developed by the same team who made Dead Rising. I wonder if that means that in kind of a way that maybe like this engine in a way evolved to empty framework. I don't know.
Potentially.
But yeah, ever since this happened, they've basically been sticking to like one engine for everything. And they are actually still using empty framework for a few projects like Monster Hunter World and Mega Man 11. That's like 2 years old, I think.
Yeah, since 2018.
Yeah, more screenshots.
Excellent.
Like Zilla.
Please, Shiva. Josh.
Barry.
Rebecca.
Shall we-
Albert.
Anything more to say about RE2 Remake?
It's a very pretty game. Wow, look at the walls. Oh my god.
Oh, I guess we could talk like about the music, really. The music.
Is there music?
Yeah, that's the problem.
If you turn on the original soundtrack setting, you get more music in the game. It's so weird.
If you turn on the classic soundtrack, you actually get
Chris, Jill.
music in the game. And it actually enhances your experience, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like I would have been okay with more music in the game. It's kind of quiet.
I only remember Mr. X's soundtrack, and that's because the dude showed up everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not because it's
think-
that good of a tune. It's like dum 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 dum.
There's also like when there is music from the remake, so not the classic soundtrack, then it's just so oddly balanced. Like either too quiet, or then there's Mr. X, who is very obvious there with his theme.
I guess there's also like the credit song, like the two sides to every story. Little bit new glory. It all puts place.
Ugh. But yeah, we've cycled through all the screenshots, and maybe that's a sign that
Yeah.
we should stop this. But yeah, I guess my overall final thought is that I think I don't know. I like parts of the game. I kind of feel like I had fun playing through it the first 2 times, and after that I started to notice more and more stuff I disliked and kind of found tedious. And it's I feel like the game isn't sure if it wants to be more of a classic art title or a little bit of a action art title, and I kind of just wish it would just choose fully one or the other.
Yeah. I think I can give it a score that I feel comfortable with. I think my score is like a 7 out of 10. I think I feel comfortable with that. I know 7 out of 10 sounds like really hard. 7 to me is still a good score. Like just
It's hard for me to gauge what those numbers mean because there's so many press people who will give a 7 out of 10 score, but they actually mean it's horrible. It's so confusing.
Yeah, I know. But for me, a 7 out of 10 is good. Like I only start viewing games as bad when I give them like a 3.
Like Tekken.
Pvimto? Shush.
If I were to score this, and if I look at the scale as like a full scale with 5 being average and 6 being good, I would probably give this like a 6.
I would give it an 8.
I would give this screenshot a 10 out of 10.
It's not what we're rating, but I accept.
Personally, for me, I think RE2 was really good, and I still enjoy it now. I do replay it often, so I think it deserves a higher score, but that's just me. So
I really like the police station. Like that's the sad part. Like I really enjoy the police station. But it's like once I hit the sewers, I just hit that moment of like I want to play more.
Yeah, like with my most recent playthroughs of the game, I honestly want to quit once I hit the sewers because I don't enjoy anything anymore. But I think I'm also at the point where I don't really enjoy the police station. I'm like, once you figure out where you need to go, it's very straightforward and fast.
That's true.
Jtegh, do you want to give score?
I think I'd be a bit more like higher ranking of the game, because I think like in the police station it handles a lot of stuff like really well, and I've modded this game way too much.
Can confirm.
I also noticed that the last few times that I did actually play the game and not just mod it, that I did sort of the same thing as I do with RE4, where in RE4 I play through the village and then stop, and I do the same kind of thing with the police station. But I still think that I would have a lot of fun just sitting down and playing through the game if I like actually continued beyond the sewer. So I think I would give it like either 7.5 or maybe 8-ish.
Ooh. Oh, oui, that could be a
Oui.
score.
Oui.
Oh, oui.
I feel like they have a really good framework for just core gameplay, like just the act of moving around, the act of shooting. So if they just add a super cool melee system to this, then come on, give us standalone mercenaries. Come on, give us.
Oui.
Give us.
Agreed.
Oui.
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 So I guess that's our final thoughts, and I guess people can look forward to either first impressions or final thoughts on RE3, depending on when I can be bothered to make that podcast after the game is released.
Yes.
1 year from now.
Please be excited.
Until then, boy.
Bye.
Boy.
Oh, Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
How did you get so big already?